Well, guys, it finally happened. After all this time, after having numerous close encounters, only having narrowly avoided it, it has finally caught up to me. I caught COVID, like, back in December. Like, late December, too. Which you would think sounds very, very unfortunate timing. Actually, it was, like, kind of convenient for me, because I'm Jewish, so I didn't have to worry about anything that day. There are many perks to having celebrated Hanukkah over Christmas. Yeah, that was hell. Those were probably the the most painful 2 days of my entire life. And then the side effects that subsided afterwards were just kind of annoying. It messed with me. Like, I think it, like, mildly weakened my immune system. I tend to have a pretty good immune system, but yeah, I think it got to me a little bit. I'm over it now, obviously, but, like, that was a thing. And I was, like, fully vaccinated, too, so, like, this was, like, the most minimum chance it could have, like, happened. But whatever. Natural immunity now, I guess. It felt like I was, like, a relic. Like, I was the last person I know, like, at all that was able to, like, get out of the pandemic unscathed. And now I'm just like, well, end of an era, I guess. Yeah, so, that happened, I guess. Right, videos. Can you believe this is, like, the 15th time I'm doing this? Like, I've been on YouTube for about, like, maybe 10 years at this point, which is insane for me to think about. But, like, yeah, like, every single time I do this, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I do this? And I'm just like, I don't know. I love giving unnecessary context. This is just me to just, like, splurge and info dump all that crap. Yeah. I'm going to attempt to give these things, like, unique thumbnails now. Like, it has a template, obviously, like the number and the logo in the corners, but, like, otherwise I'm going to try and, like, actually put effort into these thumbnails. And all of the thumbnails that I've made recently and will continue to be making will be made through GIMP. I think I've mentioned it before, but I've basically switched over to GIMP. I've gone, like, completely Adobe free, and I gotta say, GIMP, I've gotten the hang of GIMP. I think I've pretty much, like, figured it out. Like, there's still some growing pains, obviously. I've been using Photoshop for, like, since, like, middle school or whatever. But now that I've switched over to this, it's like it does the same thing in different ways. So it's like I'm just figuring out those different ways. Selecting things can be a nightmare, but I can actually figure it out if I bother. So yeah, the thumbnail was made for, like, the last one with GIMP, and for odd, I'm just gonna keep it blank and simple. Like, I don't care enough. But yeah, I can't believe I spent a full fucking hour just talking about nothing but 151 unique individual, like, creature designs, and I will do it again. I definitely want to get my opinion of every Pokemon out there eventually. I don't know if the next odd necessarily will be about Pokemon. I kind of want to talk about Splatoon 3, actually. So, like, I don't know if I'll do that, or if I want to save that for its own video for whatever reason. But, like, yeah. Yeah, I guess, spoiler alert, my favorite starter of that respective generation will probably be in the thumbnail. And then after that was the the video I made in tribute to Dragalia Lost. So, I was able to actually get Dragalia Lost running on my computer. And I could say that because it's abandonware. Like, the server's completely shut off and everything. Like, any chance to recover it at this point is completely null and void. You'd have to start from scratch. And I was able to, like, pretty much use that as a chance to 100% complete the game, including collecting all the characters, because I was just able to do that for free because of the server. Shout out to that server, by the way. The only thing is, like, I can't use the roost, so I can't upgrade the dragons. At least in terms of that way, through the roost. And the Kaleidoscape progress was reset there, and I didn't max out all that crap, but, like, who cares? Yes, so, that being said, I was able to get closure with that game pretty much, so that was nice. On top of that, yeah, it's, there's definitely more things I have to say about Dragalia. I don't know if I'll ever, like, make a video looking back on the story or anything, because I do think the story is worth discussing, even if it does fall into some generic narrative pit traps. There are some things about it that I do want to talk about, but it's not going to be a high priority, so that will have to wait for a long time. Unless you guys care, considering the view count is pretty average for some of my throwaway videos, like, I don't think anyone cares. So I'll probably not delve into that unless, like, there's demand for it, I guess. I don't know. After that was my mashup EP. I decided to upload it to YouTube, and I mentioned this in a community tab. It actually, it got a copyright claim. Turns out, the Black Eyed Peas instrumental is a no-no on YouTube. So you can't watch it in, like, Russia. I apologize to all 0 of my Russian fans. I actually haven't checked, but I guarantee you, like, I do not expect anyone from Russia to even, like, care about me. It's also on SoundCloud if you want to check it out there. Audio Collage. It's 3 tracks, although I did have to censor a different song because turns out Scary Monsters and Ice Sprites is heavily protected on SoundCloud. Cool! I am not a musical person at all. I need to make that very clear. I am not a musician. I did not... I had a very hard time trying to... like, Bleeding Out by Linkin Park, the BPM for that is all over the goddamn place, and I had a hard time matching it with the instrumentals, and I think I did okay, but it's not in key. It is... This project is a mishmash of messy bullshit. The vocals that I ripped for... well, I didn't rip, but I found a rip of them. The vocals for Morning Credits has, like, the original song's instrumental, like, echoed in the background, and it pisses me the fuck off, but those were the only isolated lyrics I could find. It sucks, because, like, this is the best that my vision can provide for me, other than just, like, purchasing the waveform and pulling it out from the stems that way, and I don't care to do that. I am not spending money on this project. So, like, unless I can find some other way that, like, someone else can, like, isolate the vocals for me or whatever. I'm lucky enough that I found the Flyleaf vocals. I struggled looking around for that. I couldn't find any, and, like, lo and behold, I just found it on SoundCloud. It was, like, the cleanest isolated vocals I've I've heard. So that was cool. Linkin Park was easy, interestingly enough. So yeah, that was a journey. I had, like, the idea for I'm Bleeding for a very long time. Not so much the Ocean Man reference, but just like Linkin Park and Black Eyed Peas mashup. I've had that in my head for months, and I'm just like, fuck it, man. Like, all these people in the Mash Pit that are collabing with Asai, and like just making goofy, dumb, cool-sounding mashup songs. I'm like, damn, I want to try my hand at that. It is much harder than it looks. They deserve all the props in the world, man. Like, so if you want to hear some crusty, like conceptual music rather than good, like the idea of it's supposed to be interesting more than the execution, then I would definitely recommend giving those songs a listen. I'm proud of how they came out, despite the fact that they don't sound good for the most part. I will stand by this. I am lucky that I was able to get match up the BPM of like the scary, sick monsters and nice pits. That's what I called it. I was lucky enough to match up the BPM for that, because it was really like 2 out of the 3 songs had the same BPM. It was just like, yeah, matching BPM is very hard for me right now because the program that I'm using to edit that with is GarageBand, and it is not easy to work with. So yeah. Other than that, okay. Then we have Akawa. Shit. Ever since that 2-hour autism in the media deep dive, I've definitely wanted to look more into that style of video. I want to bring about discussion about representation, and the best way I could do that is through the coded characters who are not confirmed nor denied to be that way. And by the way, holy shit, almost 600 views on that thing. People really want to watch it. I almost don't know what to say about that. It's like one of my best performing videos ever, and it fills me with, like, it really makes me feel like I tapped into something special here. And that's proven even more to the point with my video analyzing Nemona from Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So I want to say that, first of all, as I'm recording this, 240 views. That, not even, like, within the first 2 to 3 days of that video, it reached, like, 140 or 170 or something. And I'm like, what? No, yeah, it was, like, close to 140. Yeah, I'm like, either it's because I tapped into something that people really want to discuss, or because Pokemon is popular, Nemona is a popular character from it. I don't know. I do want to think her popularity has some regards to the view count, because the one on Herlock only got like 40, which that's still impressive for like my standing. Just like the idea of like analyzing these characters and viewing them in a way that like could work as positive representation if interpreted that way, like I think can be very beneficial for a lot of people, whether they be autistic themselves or not. Just like having this recognition of what it's like and how it feels to be in that position. It's I think it's definitely worth like bringing attention to, and I'm very proud of the way that I've been able to create this series. And then like that, the one on music, that was just an April Fool's gag. It's a good one. Like, no one... Wow, you're telling me no one wanted to watch an analysis of the music movie? Whoa! Yeah, no one saw the April Fool's video. I'm almost kind of happy about that. Anyway, yeah, I do But that being said, I don't want to shy away from negative examples per se. I do want to analyze bad examples as well as good examples, because while I do want to focus on the positivity more so than anything else, I'm not going to pretend that shit doesn't happen or offends me. Yeah. That is a series that I do plan on working on more in the future. I actually have recorded, like, another video that will come out sometime soon. So look forward to that. As for other future plans, I see, I'm not just autistic. I'm also ADHD. And having an ADHD-ridden brain means that you have way too many fucking ideas all at once that you just want to do, like, all at the same time. And I realistically know that I cannot. So I'm stuck in a position where I have to focus on one thing at a time, and it is very frustrating for me. However, I do have some secret plans. On top of other episodes of Akawa that I have in mind, I do have ideas of reviewing specific music that I want to review. Like I said, reviewing more of the Pokemon designs in, like, previous generations and whatever. I have a really big project that I'm collaborating with a friend on. That'll show up on this channel maybe in the next 5 fucking years if we're lucky. But yeah, just I have another secret project that I'll be announcing very soon. We'll see when that happens. I'm planning on it being my next video, but it depends on how things go about. It may not happen at all, but if the next video you see is something special, then you'll know. Otherwise, yeah. Also, if I could take a minute to just gush about Akawa, like, one more time. I don't think it's a secret to say that I'm a fan of Jack's films, but I took liberty in taking inspiration from the logo of his series. Yeah, sorry, I meant to say PewDiePie series. Y, obviously. Yeah, I decided to take inspiration from that logo, and the colors that I decided to utilize for that logo are, like, every other color in Roy G. Biv, because of the rainbow infinity symbol being unanimous with ASD awareness. It may not be that apparent looking at it, but it's like, it does kind of do every other, like, color. I think it does, like, what, the secondary ones? Secondary and then red. And blue, I guess. I forget the pattern in which I skipped over colors, but I promise it was even. Yeah, so I made the logo, like, it's just text, literally just text. It's the same fucking font I use for all my videos. Fun fact, that font is Rocksteady. You don't care. Cool. Anyway, I also just want to point out, like, look at the formatting of this thumbnail. This is a perfectly formatted thumbnail, and I plan on doing this for, like, every single one, because, like, one, you know what you're watching when it shows up, but two, it's like, you have, like, the logo, which is, like, the biggest, if not second biggest thing you'll see, so you'll know exactly what it is just by looking at it. But then the real big, like, prominent feature thing you see in the thumbnail is, like, the character in question. And then, like, underneath the logo and next to them is like some secondary component related to the character. And then my logo is just like right in the corner because branding. I love the formatting of it because your eye just goes in like a kind of thing. It's for you. It's more like a no. Yeah, that direction. Sure, cool. Anyway, just I like the formatting of it. I'm very proud of how I was able to format the structure of these thumbnails. I take a certain level of presentation seriously, even though like these rant videos are like throwaway filler for me to just like easily make something without like having to worry about too many factors. I do put in effort to make sure that my stuff looks presentable, is entertaining, and I take pride in how well I'm able to effectively like get that across. Well, it's not always perfect. I am proud of how far I've been able to go in terms of taking this channel and elevating it to a level that I'm satisfied with. There is room for improvement, however, and I'm still going through some growing pains, especially with my new setup and, like I've mentioned before, going Adobe free. Which, speaking of which, most of the videos that I've made have been, like ever since the last rant, have been using Kden Live, an editing software that I was able to just download for free. It's been pretty useful, but obviously, like a free editing software can only get me so far. I have recently discovered DaVinci Resolve, which is an editing software that I used to edit the Herlock Sholmes video with. This is the free version that I'm using. I'm probably going to make this in Kden just to make things simpler, but like in DaVinci Resolve, the free version, like, this is... so, if you remember back then, if you remember a while ago, I tried using a software called Lightworks, and I used that. But, there was a problem with Lightworks. I can only... For the free version that they offered, I could have only exported it at 720p. Fucking wow, dude. Not even HD. That is ridiculous. So I dropped that eventually. And DaVinci Resolve has a very similarly annoying caveat. It caps at 30 FPS when exporting. Cool. Great. I believe the paid version lets me do 60 if I wanted to, and like this camera says it does 60. I don't fully believe it. The webcam I'm using, like, I'm fine with how it is. It's just like, I don't know. I don't feel like it's the best quality, but it's fine for what it is. It's serviceable for the purposes of the content that I'm creating, at least. Another thing I'm annoyed with, and you could probably hear it, but my computer has fans going off the entire time while I record, and the mic very much picks up all of that, and it pisses me the fuck off. I've ordered it on Amazon, a pop filter. I'm hoping that could reduce that noise. I don't know. We'll see. I will do what I can to try and make the content here better, but I can only do so much on my own. So, if you're any bit interested in my content, I want it to be known that while I do this for fun, I monetize it unless I get like 1,000 subs, dude. Like, I'm not gonna get there like anytime soon unless I blow the fuck up somehow, and I don't see that happening. So if you could, you know, help a brother out, just all that being said, I have an Instagram as well if you ever can. I also have a Redbubble if you want to support me that way as well. I've done like a shit job like trying to advertise that after like I initially launched it, but like yeah, it's there. Yeah, all of my links are like in the description, by the way, for all the different stuff. Yeah, that's really it. Like I said, I do plan on I do plan on making more Akawas. I do plan on like talking more about like Pokemon designs. And you know what? Fuck it, man. I'm gonna get back to that Fossil Fighters playthrough at some point. I will. Like I know like all three of you are like hanging on a thread like, oh boy, when's part 3? Like maybe soon. Maybe. We'll see. And more Splatoon content too. Yeah. Look forward to a lot of things. I hate my ADHD. It's awesome. Cut that. That's a Kanye reference. I can't associate with him. Holy shit. Yeah, okay, that's it. Bye.